Good morning, grade 6 students. Welcome to our online learning class in English. This is English with Teacher Jen. What is the date today, everyone? Today is Thursday, and it's the 5th of August. Now for today, we will going to do a review of the topics that we have last week. Specifically the food, okay? We will review the quantity and the fruit. Let's get started. Can you tell me what is this? A carton of milk. A slice of pizza. A piece of cake. A bag of potato chips. A can of soda. A bar of chocolate. A bag of rice. A loaf of bread. A dozen of egg. A bag of sugar. A jar of jam. A bunch of grapes. Okay, nice one. Now let's go to how much and how many. Now we will going to learn how do we use how much and how do we use how many. Let's start with how many. What is the process of using how much? Now when we use how much, we will going to identify first if the noun is uncountable. Okay, using how much, we use uncountable noun. These are nouns that you cannot count with numbers. You cannot count it using your hands. I'll give you an example. Tea, bacon, coffee, cheese, sugar, milk, water, and rice. So you cannot count it using your hands. That is the meaning of uncountable noun. Let's give more examples. Okay, let's start with number 1. How much tea? How much tea can you drink? How much tea can you drink? Next, how much is the cheese? How much is the cheese? How much rice do we need? How much rice do we need? As you can see, we use tea, cheese, and rice. That's why we are using how much. We use tea, cheese, and rice. So we will be using how much. Next, how about how many? How do we use how many? How many? We are using plural countable noun. Plural, it means more than one. It can be 2, 3, 4, 5. Plural countable nouns. This is plural and you can count it using your hands. You can use your hands to count it. For example, apples. Example, 10 apples, right? 20 oranges. Something that you can count. Tomatoes, books. Now, I give you an example using quantity example. Bags, as you can see, we have bags of rice. Bags is plural because it has an S or letter S. Next, bags of rice. We have cups of coffee. We have boxes of chocolates. So anything that is plural, we use How many? Something that you can count, okay? Now, I'll give you more examples. How many books are in the library? How many books are in the library? As you can see, we have books. How many apples did you pick? We have apples. How many cups of coffee should I serve? And cups of coffee is a plural form. Okay, now we will going to learn more. Let's practice, everyone. Now let's identify if this is how many or how much. How many and how much? Okay, let's try number one. Trees did he plant? Blank trees did he plant? Okay, how about trees? Can you count trees? Yes, you can. So what are you going to use here? How many or how much? We will going to use how many. How many trees did he plant? How many trees did he plant? Next, let's use coins. Coins did she give you? Coins did she give you? If we are talking about money, we will going to use how much. Okay, if we are talking about money, let's use how much. How much coins did she give you? How much coins did she give you? Next, how about suitcases? Now, when you travel, this is what you are using. Suitcase. Suitcases. Suitcases is plural. Can you count suitcase? Yes, you can. You can count it. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Now, what are we going to use? Blank suitcases have you got? How many? How many suitcases have you got? How many suitcases have you got? Okay, now let's try this one. Blank is it? When you are asking, how much is it? How many is it? What is right? We will going to use how much is it? How much is it? Okay, next one, blank planets are there in the solar system. Blank planets are there in the solar system. What do you think is the answer? Can you count the planets? Yes. How many planets do we have? We have 8. Now, what do we use? How many? Okay. How many planets are there in our solar system? Let's read. Number 1. How many trees did he plant? How much coins did she give you? How many suitcases have you got? How much is it? How many planets are there in our solar system? Okay, now let's go to the next part of our practice. From 6 to 10, let's try to answer 6 to 10. Blank is, does a can of soda cost? Can of soda. Now we are talking about the price. Cost, this is money. When we talk about cost, we talk about money. Blank, does a can of soda cost? What do you think is the answer? How many or how much? The answer is How much? How much does a can of soda cost? Okay, next one. Let's talk about the next one. Blank milk is in the fridge. Blank milk is in the fridge. Now, when we talk about milk, can you count milk? No, you can't unless it's in a cup, right? A cup of milk. But this one is only milk. Now, what do we use? How many or how much? How much? How much milk is in the fridge? How much milk is in the fridge? Next one. Blank money did you spend? Let's talk about money. I told you if we are talking about money, we were going to use how much. How much money did you spend? How much money did you spend? Next, let's talk about number 9. Blank sugar would you like? Blank sugar would you like? Can you count sugar? No, you can't. Now, what are we going to use? How many or how much? How much? Okay. How much sugar would you like? Last one for number 10. Blank books did you buy? Blank books did you buy? Can you count books? Yes, you can count books. Now, what are we going to use? How much or how many? How many? How many books did you buy? Let's read it from number 6. How much does a can of soda cost? How much milk is in the fridge? How much money did you spend? How much sugar would you like? How many books did you buy? Okay, now we will going to go to the next part. This is our worksheet number 1, everyone. Worksheet number 1, directions. Look at the words, match, and write it. As you can see with number 1, as you can see, the example, a jar of jam. This is the example, a jar of jam. Where is a jar of jam? Here, a jar of jam. So we already gave you an example for number 1. You need to connect the quantity and the product. Okay, this is 1 to 6 items. Next part, underline much or many, then write the answers. Okay. Now, in here, how many or much milk do we need? How many or much milk do we need? Now, since we use we will going to put we. Okay. How much milk do we need? We need 2 cartons of milk. Here we have 1, 2. 2 cartons of milk. Okay. How about, let's try number 3. How many or much apples do you buy? How many or much apples do you buy? When we talk about you, our answer should start with I. And how about the answer? How many or how much for the apples? We will use how many. How many apples do you buy? I. What will you put here? How many? I will buy 3 apples. Here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can write here, I will buy. You can write, I will buy 3 apples. Okay, I will buy, and then here, 3 apples. Okay, let me try to type it for you. I will buy 3 apples. Okay, let's put it here. I will buy 3 apples. Now the answer here, as you can see, how many apples do you buy? Now, if you saw you will use I. I will buy 3 apples. Okay, now let's clear this one and let's go to worksheet number 2. So this is worksheet number 2. Complete sentences with how much or how many. We need to put how much or how many here. Okay. Just make sure that you will going to read each sentences correctly. Number 1, we have milk. Milk. Can you count milk? No, you can't. Now, what are you going to use? We will going to use this is our worksheet number 1, everyone. Don't forget to write your name, number, and your class. Direction. Look at the words, match, and write it. As you can see, number 1, a jar of jam. Now, a jar of jam, where did we get it? It's here. A jar of jam. Now, you need to find a quantity. For example, a dozen, 12 pieces. A dozen of eggs. After that, you will need to write it after the number or in this space provided. Next, underline much or many, then write the answers. As you can see, number 1, we have how much milk do we need? Now, answering it, we will going to start with we. We need 2 cartons of milk. We have 1, 2. Okay, if we, or if you can see we will going to use we. Now, how about you? How many or much apples do you buy? Now here, apples. Can you count apples? Yes, so we will going to underline many. How many apples do you buy? Now with how many apples do you buy? If you, the answer should start with I. Answer should start with I. I will buy 3 apples. Now you can do the rest of the worksheet. Let's go to worksheet number 2, everyone. Now in here, we have here 1 to 10 items. Now for there is and there are, some and any, Teacher Mo will going to discuss this. Now Teacher Jenny will discuss how much and how many. For number 1, we have here milk. Milk do you have? Can you count milk? No, you can't. So we will going to use how much? How much milk do you have? Now, after answering 1 to 10, you will going to put the food in here. Countable and uncountable now. So countable and uncountable. Countable, something you can count. Uncountable, something you cannot count. Example, milk. Can you count milk? No. So milk is uncountable. Now you can put the rest of the food in here, okay? What food should you put here? Slices of cake, pizza, loaves of bread. Loaves of bread is plural, okay? Carton of milk, boxes of cookies, cones of ice cream, glasses of cola, pieces of donuts, and bread. Okay, that's what I want you to do, everyone. Now, after that, after answering how much, how many, write it here, countable and uncountable. That's the end of our topic, everyone. I hope you learned something today. Goodbye and see you.